Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to my review of Alien Romulus. I'm going to have a spoiler section in this video, so that way when I talk about the movie, but then when I want to talk about spoilers, you'll see a big thing. It'll say spoilers, it'll flash spoilers, and then that way you'll know in case you don't want to be spoiled. And then when the spoiler section is over, the spoiler thing will go away, and we'll continue on. Okay? I just want to be clear about this. Anyway, this is a sequel. I guess it's in between. This movie takes place. It's directed by Fede Alvarez, and it's supposed to be in between Alien and Aliens. Okay, it's supposed to be in that middle ground between those two movies, and it's basically about these group of scavengers. They basically see a ship that they want to, salvage, and their main goal is to salvage this thing for the cryopods so they can leave this mining colony they live on, which is like the absolute pits, where they have to put in a certain number of hours for the company, and they basically don't want to live their lives that their family's been living, being stuck on this mining planet, where basically your life is pretty bleak. Okay, so we have our two main characters in this movie, Rain and Andy, played by Callie Spenny and David Johnson. They're brother and sister, although David Johnson's character, Andy, he's a synthoid, okay? And I would say he's not one of the top synthoids, okay? His main programming is to protect Rain. That's her father, years ago, salvaged Andy, and he's basically not the top of the line thing. He's sort of simple in the way he acts, and his main goal is to protect her, and they want to leave the planet. So when she runs into her four friends, and they tell her, listen, we're seeing this big, space, barge in the atmosphere that we want to get onto that, and we want to, salvage it, and we can get these cryopods on there, salvage that, and then we can get away from this planet, and so we don't have to live this crappy life that we're living, okay? And she agrees to go along with this. But then, and that's the gist of this movie. Like you see in the trailers, they go up to the ship, and of course, plans don't go according to plan because, of course, of these, the xenomorphs that are on the ship, and of course, it's a fight for your life, trying to survive that. Anyway, I was looking forward to this because it's been a while since they released an Alien movie. Okay, and this one I think is definitely this is again directed by Fede Alvarez, who directed the Don't Breathe movie and the Evil Dead remake. And this movie is really good. The trailers definitely intrigued me enough that I wanted to see it. And this whole movie is just the whole atmosphere of it, and it harkens back to those previous movies, Alien and Aliens, where everything is kind of cramped in, and if you're claustrophobic, it's got to be a nightmare for you to watch it, and everything is dark and dank. And these six people go up there, and they have to basically, survive this. And this is a really intense movie, and really, really well done. And I really enjoyed it. Definitely one of the better movies I've seen this year. Okay, and kudos to the director Fede Alvarez for setting the tone with the atmosphere and everything else, and kudos to the cast, specifically Callie Spenny, who plays Rain, okay, and also David Johnson, who plays Andy. And again, his character, those two characters are kind of like the main two, characters in this movie that we're supposed to, we see this movie through their eyes, and it's a really well done. Again, great atmosphere, good jump scares, good special effects, and just a really intense movie and a nice addition to this franchise. And again, kudos to Fede Alvarez for directing this. I think he co-wrote it as well. And again, really well done. Okay, again, these aliens, the face huggers from the trailers that you've seen, the face huggers, it's just creepy and dark and dank, and I know they did a lot of practical effects for this movie, so that's what makes it even more intense, and definitely again, one of the better movies I've seen this year. And I would give this movie, out of my 4-star system, okay, 1 being poor, 2 being fair, 3 being excellent, no, 3 being good, excuse me, and 4 being excellent. I would give this movie 3.5 stars. It's definitely worth checking out. Definitely a nice addition to this franchise. And again, it's just an intense movie. And again, if you're an Alien fan, this just definitely should be up your alley. Definitely go see this movie because it's a nice addition to the franchise. Now, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. So this is going to be the spoiler section. Okay, so in case anybody doesn't want to be spoiled, you can go up, turn away now. Anyway, the main gist, like I said, of this movie, the two main characters of this movie is Rain, played by Kylie Spaney, and Andy, played by David Johansen. Like I said, David Johansen's character of Andy is a synthoid, but again, his robot is not top of the line, and he actually, David Johnson plays his character like he's slow, and because he's not the top of the line. In fact, they say Rain's father found him, and basically, and he grew up with, or Rain grew up with him as her brother and her protector, because his main directive is to protect Rain. That's his main, and he gets easily distracted. You can even see it in the beginning of the movie where he gets easily distracted by anything, and those people on that planet, they don't like synthoids that much. And like I said, they live in a crappy life because even in like I said, the beginning of the movie, when Rain thinks she has enough hours for her and Andy to leave the planet, and she goes to turn in her card so she can leave, they said no, they changed the hours, so now you got to work double the amount of hours that she's built up over these years. So of course that really sucks. So basically they're stuck there until she gets contacted by her friends, some of her friends, who says, listen, we have this, we found this spaceship in the atmosphere. Okay, it looks like a derelict thing, and we can go up on there. They probably have escape pods on there, cryopods, and we can salvage this, get the cryopods, and leave this crappy world, okay, and get out of here. And so of course, Rain wants to do this. She wants to get out of here, but then we find out later, of course, that the place they're going to doesn't take synthoids, and there's one main character, one of the other characters that doesn't like synthoids, and he kind of picks on Andy, his character, which really pisses you off when you watch it. He basically picks on this robot, even though the whole reason that they're going up on the ship is because they need Andy, because because he was made by the company that made the ship, so they need him, his technology to open up doors and stuff. Basically, they basically need him for that. Okay, and he goes up there because Andy wants to go, because Rain wants to go up there. So of course Andy is going to go up there and do what's in the best interest of Rain. So he goes up there and does it. But again, like I said, this one character was a real dick to Andy, until, like I said, Andy gets an upgrade. Okay, they find a synthoid that's been ripped apart, and they put his chip into Andy so he can get into doors they can't get into. And then when he gets that knowledge, he gets incredibly smart. Okay, and you can tell the actor David Johnson, he flips the switch, because in the beginning he's acting slow, but once he gets the chip in him, he's smart, he's confident. Okay, and he's leading the group and giving them knowledge of stuff that they didn't know before, and it's really a nice turnaround. Again, like I said, kudos to the actor who plays Andy, David Johnson, and Kylie Spaney. Those two, their whole relationship is the whole gist of this movie, the driving force of this movie. Because there's moments in this movie where she could have gotten away, but she goes back for Andy, because they grew up, or she grew up with him as her brother. So she's not leaving without him. And there's a sweet moment at the end, towards the end of the movie, where, because his directive, like I said, is to protect Rain. His original directive is to protect Rain. And at the end, towards the end, she goes, you have a new directive. The directive is to protect us. To watch. A new directive is to watch out for both of us. I thought that was a nice, sweet moment, because, like I said, she actually came back for him when she could have left, but she actually came back for him. And there's moments where he protects her as well, and so that's some of the sweeter moments in it. But some of the grosser moments in this movie. Again, there's a character named Kate, played by Isabella Merced. She's pregnant. We find out early in the movie that she's pregnant, and I knew once they said that she was pregnant that she was going to give birth to one of these hybrid xenomorphs, and sure enough, there's a moment where she does, and it's a freaky moment where she gives birth to one of these freaky hybrids, which actually looks like one of these engineers. And there's a character in this movie that's based on the I forgot the character's name, the robot in the first Alien movie, played by Ian Holm. Okay, there's another version of that robot that's in the ship, and that robot basically is telling them that you gotta the whole gist of this mission for the ship was to, because they said that humans were fragile, and they wanted to, once they discovered this alien, they wanted to take that alien DNA and mix it with human DNA to make humans tougher and stronger. And their whole goal, or at least that robot's goal for the company, is to take samples of it so they can bring it back, to Earth and experiment on it so they can use it for humans and stuff. And they don't care what else happens. They don't care how many other humans have to die to do that. That's the main goal. And it looks like for a moment in there, like that Andy, since he got that chip put in him, that's all he cares about is that he gets an upgrade. And there's a moment in the movie where it's Andy and Rain and another guy, and his sister is Kay, and she's stuck behind a door trying to get in, and they think, okay, well, he can let her in, but he goes no. After he got the chip put in, he goes, no, it's better, if I open up the door, the alien that's after her is gonna kill all three of us. We're all gonna die instead of, he's basically saying it's better for her to die than all three of us to die. Okay, which is crazy, and of course that blows Rain's mind, because she said, okay, I gotta get that chip out of him, because he's not the same old Andy as before. He's all he cares about right now is the mission and stuff. He don't care, because the whole mission is to get some of those samples of that alien DNA back to Earth, and it's crazy. Okay, this movie again has a lot of jump scares, and I feel sorry for that one character that you see in the trailer, the woman, what's her name, played Navarro, who basically gets, that you see in the trailer, that takes that thing, and you see the chest hugger, inside of her, get ready to burst out, and it's just a really messed up moment where the face hugger, jumps out on her and basically wraps his tentacle around her neck, and he's like squeezing, and they're asking Andy, how do we save it? How do we save her? And they're saying basically, no, you got to let it do what it's going to do, because it's basically hooked herself to her nervous system, and you can't, if you try to take it off, she's gonna die. And they basically I think they wind up like freezing it so it can let go, but it didn't matter, because at that point it already had laid the eggs inside of her, and they take her back to the ship. And this is a moment that really, they're going back to the ship, and he's telling them, listen, she can't go back to the ship. She's infected. And the dude that was teasing Andy before, he grabs the girl, and they run out, and they basically, try to get back on the ship without them. And then, Andy's chasing them, saying, listen, we can't let her back on the ship because she's infected. She's, that alien's going to come, it's going to burst out and kill everybody. And he basically chases them down. But of course, they actually get back to the ship, and then you see that scene you see in the trailer with her, boom, boom, boom. She sees the thing, and it bursts out of her, and she just dies a very painful death. Okay, just first you got the face hugger on her, and then she got the egg implanted into her, and then just she died a very painful death. Her and Kay, played by Isabella Marchet, who gave birth to the hybrid, they died very painful deaths, and that was just. I just felt so bad for them. Not the other guy. The guy that was teasing Andy, he got a nice death. Okay, he got a nice acid bath death by because he shocked one of these the eggs that was hanging from one of the. He shocked it because he had this shock stick that he was teasing Andy with. He thought he killed it by shocking it to death, but all it did was release the alien blood, and it just fell on top of him. Basically, just fell on him and disintegrated him. Okay, although like I said, his death, I didn't give a crap. He deserved it because he was just a dick to Andy. And I know they said that he was, he hated synthroids because one made the decision that caused his mother's death, even though that's what they're programmed to do. But his death, I didn't mind. Okay, and like I said, the only two people to survive at the end, is, of course, was Andy and Rain. Okay, those two, they after because like I said, there's two false endings where you think, uh, they put Kay in the cryo chamber, pregnant Kay in the cryo chamber, and they hook Andy up to the thing so he can, rest while they're in cryo sleep, and then all things go to hell when when Kay gives birth and stuff, and then Kay, Rain has to, basically try to, get the alien out of the ship, the hybrid out of the ship and stuff, and she winds up doing it. It knocks Andy, knocks Andy. I think it knocks him out. It knocks him out, so he's like unconscious. So he's off, I guess, offline. And then so at the end, when she puts him in the cryo chamber, and like I said before in the movie, the place they're going to doesn't take synthoids, but she tells at the end, she says, "I don't care," and okay, I'm gonna save you. So she actually puts him in the cryo chamber, one of the cryo chambers, and then she gets in the other one, and so there's a potential for a sequel, which I hope they do. Okay, with Andy and Rain, going, to wherever they're gonna go. Okay, with probably an alien in there somewhere, in a ship somewhere. But hopefully they'll do that. So anyway, spoiler section over. Anyway, like I said, I love this movie, and it definitely is a worthy sequel to the Alien movies. And again, definitely go see this movie if you're a fan of the movies. It's worth seeing. It's so good. It really is good. Totally worth seeing. Go check it out. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. And you got to go see it. To me, it's totally worth seeing. And again, I love the direction by Freddy Alvarez. Hopefully he'll direct another one, the sequel, if they do that. And Callie Spaney, who's been in a lot of things, who played Rain, and David Johnson, who plays Andy, the Synthoid. The only other thing I saw him in was some Agatha Christie, like TV movie on BritBox. So he's a British actor, and he's really good. And he's really good in this movie. Again, like I said, the whole gist of this movie is their relationship between Rain and Andy. That's one of the highlights of this movie, and it totally works for me. And again, I give this movie 3.5 stars. Go see it. It's totally worth seeing. And again, please hit the like and subscribe button. In the description box, I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, have a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. If you check that out as well. Also, have a link down below to my Patreon. Again, my Patreon's only $5 a month. Tons of content on there. Tons of unedited content on there. Got everything from we got over 180 videos in there, and I have everything broken down into collections. I have a DC TV show collection, a Marvel TV show collection, a Star Wars TV show collection, a movie collection, and a Gen V and The Boys collection. So everything is separated into collections. You get 5-minute previews of every video that I have on my Patreon. So if you want to check that out before you join, okay, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, in the description box, I have links to my merchandise store, and you can see this shirt that I'm wearing. This is one of the merch that I'm selling on my merchandise store. Follow the link down below. You'll see I have tons of stuff on there. I'm selling t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, warm-ups, cups, mugs, water bottles, hats. Follow the link down below to the merchandise store if you want to support me that way. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long. Take care.